everyone, Renee here. We are on day 5 of my winter skincare routines series, and I believe today is going to be the last day because we are coming full circle. Tonight is Tret-night again. At the moment, I'm still using it 2 times a week, once every 3 days. There is absolutely no rush whatsoever. The only thing that's really missing from my routines, and I wish I could show you, but quite frankly, my skin just isn't ready for it right now in its sort of retinizing state, is exfoliation, because I started using the Dermaflash. And it's actually been really a gentle way to physically exfoliate without any redness or potential irritation. So I've mentioned before that exfoliation is just one of those things I do on an as-needed basis. So it's not something that is regularly scheduled in my routine. Sometimes it could be multiple times a week, and sometimes it could just be once a week, and sometimes I'll miss it entirely, especially during this time when I am retinizing. So far I've experienced like minimal pilling with the Altrino. Things are feeling back to normal again. I think the post-Tret treatments really help calm everything down, but I also think the LED really helps. So I've done my water rinse, and today, like despite this Arctic weather that we've been getting, things are feeling unusually just normal, like not dry and not very dehydrated. So something I keep forgetting to mention, because it's, it's not like a topical formula that I'm applying straight to my skin, is this desk humidifier. This one is from Dewy, and by far the most powerful one I've used. While I am spending hours a lot of times just editing my videos, I actually just put this on my desk, and it really does a great job of just humidifying my immediate area. Something that, goes beyond what a room humidifier can do. This is not going to help humidify an entire room. It's great for just an immediate area. And I love that this stream just shoots right up and turns into a cloud. So this has come in really handy just while I've been working. It's also great to put by the bedside. This will last a good 8 to 10 hours. I'm just going to set this down right here. So next up after cleansing, it's all about the antioxidants for me. As you know, I'm not ready to use L-ascorbic acid vitamin C yet because, my skin is still on the sensitive side with Tret. I'm gonna wait a little longer before I incorporate that back in. I am loving From Youth to the People, their 15% vitamin C and caffeine energy serum. So this uses THD, vitamin C derivative, great for evening out and brightening the skin tone. This has pretty much just been eaten up by my skin already. It's completely absorbed, dried down. I don't even feel it there anymore, but my skin does feel actually smoother after using this and just more energy. For hydration, continuing on the theme, which is actually a really important theme for me, which is the skin brightening and evening of the skin tone. Not just for that clear, mochi skin, but you guys have noticed that also this time around, I have been getting quite a bit of erythema, because of the retinizing. So I'm either going to use, again, the Hada Labo Chirurgian Premium, which has tranexamic acids and vitamin C derivatives, but is also just really deeply hydrating. Or I'm going to use the I'm From Rice Serum, which uses 73% rice bran extract, but also it has tranexamic acid in it as well. I think it really depends, which one I use depends on how much hydration my skin needs. If I want more hydration, then I would use this. You could actually use this and then this. That's a great, pretty powerful combination as well. But what I'm going to do, since you've already seen me use this, I'm going to use 2 layers of this. I do think my skin may need just a little more hydration, so I'm going to do 2 layers of this. When I started using this in the fall, and this was prior to my retinization and all the redness that comes with it, my skin was looking more even toned than it had in a really long time. It's not solely attributed to this, but I think this kind of just topped everything off. This is just one of those serums, it just feels so good the minute I start applying it. In fact, my skin right now just feels so glossy and hydrated and plump. So like I mentioned, strangely enough, my skin just does not feel all that dry today. And also, there's something about the rice serum and the rice toner that really kind of makes everything feel kind of locked in. So I'm going to skip the oil serum today, but also because the sunscreen I'm going to use is a little bit more on the moisturizing side, I'm just going to go straight to moisturizer. You guys already know this, but Pharmacy's Honey Halo. Every time I think that this is finished, I'm still able to scrape out just enough more for another application. And then as per usual, my Peach and Lily Pure Retinoic Eye Cream. This smooths out my eye area really well and just plumps out those fine lines and cracks. I love that I could also use it on my really dry eyelids where I do tend to get some flaking skin around the wintertime. And it's just not heavy. It doesn't migrate into my eyes and give me blurry vision. So for sunscreen, I mentioned the two that I've been using the most are these two, the Supergoop Daily Dose Vitamin C and SPF, and the Garnier Green Labs Serum Cream Canna B. These are both self-categorized as serums. I just think of them as sunscreens with just really, really good lightweight texture. This one is definitely the richer of the two, so if you have really dry, dehydrated winter skin, this is actually a great option because it's really quite moisturizing, maybe even a little oily. This also gives that sort of really glowy, dewy skin finish, whereas this one is more of a velvet skin finish and a lot lighter. So I'm going to use Daily Dose again, can always use more C derivatives and also more glow. It's got a good dose of 3-O-ethylated ascorbic acid. It uses another derivative, another great derivative for evening out the skin tone and brightening. My lips have been kind of pale and anemic looking lately, so I'm going to be using my Fresh Sugar Blood Orange Hydrating Lip Balm. These fresh lip balms for me at this point are just, classic. But I like this one whenever I just want a slight tint of very natural, healthy color. The blood orange has that really subtle tint, but I also love that it lasts a long time because the lip balm lasts a long time on the lips. That is it for my morning routine. So tonight I'm going to show you another way I've been applying my Tretinoin, which has really helped during this period when my skin is still adjusting. It really helps alleviate any kind of possible symptoms of retinizing. But first, of course, I'm going to cleanse my skin. And again, I'm only going to be using one cleanser. This is so strange. This was never the norm in like years of doing skincare routines. It's always been a double cleanse. But honestly, my skin hasn't needed it and I just don't want to over cleanse. So if this is a step that I can keep simple, then I will. Again, no makeup day. I mean, there was a time when I used to at least make an effort for Zoom meetings or video conference meetings, and now I don't even turn my camera on. So I just did my water rinse to remove anything that might be sitting on the surface of my skin. And actually it already, as it's evaporating, it already is getting, my skin is getting sort of tight. For second cleanse, I'm really going to treat my skin today, and I'm going to use an old favorite, which is Biologique Recherche's Le VIP O2. When I want that luxurious cream cleanser experience, this is where I go. It really is next level comforting, and it's what is used in my Biologique Recherche facials. They actually double cleanse with this. During the second cleanse, they'll do an entire and seemingly pretty long facial massage, and then after they rinse it off, they'll put a mirror in front of your face, and the complexion actually looks so much brighter. For a gentle cream cleanser, this still actually feels kind of punchy, like it feels active, which makes it perfect for a single cleanse. This is a cleanser that you can spend time luxuriating and massaging on your skin. It doesn't really dry down like that, but unfortunately I have to avoid doing that because my skin is so reactive lately and it will turn bright red if I, massage. So for me, this rinses off completely clean and it leaves a really smooth texture, which I love. And the difference a good cleanser makes is after I water rinsed and during the time when I was just even talking before I started doing my second cleanse, my skin already started drying out and feeling really, really dry. But after the second cleanse, it doesn't feel dry at all. It's Tret-night, so my first treatment after cleansing is going to be my Allies of Skin Prebiotics and Niacinamide Serum. You all know by now that I always pair tretinoin and niacinamide in the same routine. They just work so much better together. The more concentrated serums, granted that my skin can take this really well, I like to use before, without any dilution. Hydration step is again going to be my Dr. Circle Vegan Kombucha Tea Essence. So this deliciously milky formula I feel like really nails that perfect balance between oil and hydration. This is a 15 to 85% ratio between oil and liquid. But by no means does this feel oily at all or greasy. In fact, if you are someone who is very resistant to just using pure oils, but you do want to add the lipids in your routine, then I think this is actually kind of that perfect formula. I'm only going to use one layer of this today. It really feels like instant relief for me right now. So eye cream before Tret treatment. Again, I'm using Youth to the People's Dream Ceramide Eye Cream. Some of you have been asking me why I am not putting my Tret around my eyes. At this stage, while my skin is still adjusting, I am going to avoid the delicate areas, only because I've made that mistake before to really bad consequence and painful consequence. So I do, especially when it comes to actives, I do play it ultra conservative. I could buffer the Tret with something even more occlusive than my eye cream around this area. The problem is I am prone to milia, and I think if you are someone who is prone to getting milia around your eye area, then that is just really not an option. So what I prefer to do, and what I've actually done in the past, is use formulas that are specifically for the eye area that have retinol in them. So the minute I feel like things have adjusted, then I will incorporate retinol serums, stronger retinol serums and retinol eye creams for this area. And I will gradually work my way to having tretinoin closer to my eyes and around my lip area as well. I just want to take my time and do it cautiously. I was actually really comfortable using my 0.012% tretinoin treatment from Curology around this area and around my lips. I had no issues with that at all. So tonight I'm going to do a Tret moisturizer sandwich. So the way I do it, I'm going to use a lighter moisturizer. You've been seeing me use a lot of heavier moisturizers, and so I'm going to be using my I'm From Rice cream. This has to be one of the most hydrating creamy moisturizers I've tried, even more so than a lot of the gel moisturizers. But also I mentioned that it's probably one of the more flattering ones. It just makes your skin look beautiful. Right now in these seriously Arctic conditions, this isn't quite moisturizing enough for me on its own, but for this application, it is perfect. People ask me if I do wait times. Honestly, I don't have the patience for wait times in my skincare routine. So because I'm buffering, I'm not really concerned about wait times, but when I was using my Curology right after cleansing, I wanted to make sure that my skin was completely dried before applying it. So there would be a little bit of a wait time after cleansing, but also before I applied any other product, because it's kind of that creamy texture. So I wanted to make sure that it was just completely dried down and absorbed before I applied hydration or serums or anything else. So again, just the smallest amount. Even when you think it's too little, it's probably still too much. This really spreads out fully. Ever since I started using this, I haven't been getting any blackheads, which is good. So instead of putting another layer of moisturizer, I'm actually going to put a mask on top of it, because this is where my masking comes into my weekly routine. You haven't seen me using any other types of masks, because a lot of them are kind of out of the question right now, especially the strong decongestant ones, the clay ones, the ones that might be strong or dry out my skin, and particularly the acid ones, no. But the only masking that I do right now, given all the conditions, my skin, the environment, is what I did on day one, which is I use a moisturizer and use that as a mask. So I'm just going to use one of my favorite sort of winter moisturizing masks that I can also use as a moisturizer, which is from Biologique Recherche, their Crème Masque Vernis. So the texture of this is really interesting. It's really not dense. It's not a dense texture at all. It is actually quite silky and light, which is kind of the genius behind it. Wow, this smells bad. So this really moisturizes effectively. It has some richness to it without it being heavy or occlusive or, anything unpleasant or too much. But also it creates a really nice seal. Biologique Recherche across the board really cares about environmental effectors and stressors and how that affects your skin. So everything is about protecting, just like those finishing serums, but also this has a really reparative quality to it as well. So yeah, no, I really feels good. And for the lips, I'm going to use Boscia's Cherry Blossom and Bakuchiol Resurfacing Lip Repair. I'm going to give my lips some extra overnight care. Usually what I like to do to exfoliate my lips, I just take my favorite AHA toner and I just swipe it across my lips, and then I apply lip balm on it overnight. What I like about this is it's got the acids, it's a gentle resurfacing treatment balm for your lips. I'm not into lip scrubs. I find them really, really unpleasant, and sometimes they make the state of my peeling lips even worse. But this is a really comforting, moisturizing, nourishing lip balm, and at the same time, it will gradually resurface as well. This is actually really thick. There's no scent. It's like a sleeping pack type of texture. It will stay on all night. So that's it. This is the last of my winter skincare routine vlog / series, just giving you a look at exactly what I do and how things change from day to day and how dependent it is on my lifestyle, my skin condition, what treatments I used before, what treatments I'm using tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed watching this and seeing, what I do. Again, this is not a tutorial by any means. This is just what the things that really work for me and the way that works for me. But I would also love to do some routines where I'm using more budget-friendly drugstore routines, or I'd love to do a at-home spa day. That's the one I'm actually looking forward to doing. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'm wishing you great skin health. Bye.